Hi, I'm Vinoy Rogers III, Executive Chef of American Kitchen. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make our signature tempura avocado with tomato chipotle jam and a cilantro lime creme fraiche. Started with cutting up some of the aromatics and the tomatoes for our jam. We're just going to do a small dice on a medium onion. Medium to some people is one size, medium to others is another, but really doesn't matter. You can use as little or as much onion as you like. We're just going to do a nice little dice, and we'll do the same thing with red bell pepper also. After that, we'll dice up some tomato, and then we'll get everything in the pot, cook it up, and then season it appropriately. So run through this onion here. Once we have this cut, we'll move on to our bell pepper. Just a nice one red bell pepper. We want to make sure we take all the seeds and everything like that out. And again, a small dice on this bell pepper. Here's our bell peppers and onions. We'll go ahead and do our tomatoes. And we're going to go the same size. You can go a little bit bigger on the dice here because the tomatoes will cook down a bit. So once we get all these diced up nicely, we'll move to the stove. All right, so now we have all of our ingredients mise en place. We're going to go ahead and get our jam cooking. We'll start off with just a little bit of oil. We use a blended oil here. You want to stay away from an olive oil. There's just a little bit too much flavor in that olive oil that you don't need. So a canola or vegetable oil would be best. We'll put our onions in, our bell peppers. Like I said before, we'll hold off on our tomatoes. Let these saute for 2 to 3 minutes until they get nice and soft. The onions become translucent. They start to open up. The flavor comes out. So after a couple minutes have gone by, everything's starting to soften up. Onions are releasing their flavors. The bell peppers are doing the same thing. We're actually going to add our vinegar. Kind of deglaze the pan with your vinegar. So now we're about a third of the way, half of the way reduced on the vinegar. We'll add our tomatoes, about 4 cups, a dozen Roma tomatoes. At this point, we can add our sugar. Allow it to reduce. At that point, you're definitely going to want to taste it. That's where you're going to be able to make your adjustments. Everything in there is looking really nice. I'm going to move on and add our Chipotle Puree. We like to do a couple tablespoons. Gives it just enough kick, just enough flavor. We'll stir that in. And then we'll allow this to reduce down until we get a nice thick consistency similar to a jam. All right, so we got our tomato jam, just kind of reducing the last little bit. We're going to make our tempura batter and allow it to sit and rest. Very easy to do. Equal parts ice cold water to the actual tempura mix. Just whisk this all together, and then we're going to let this rest. We'll move on to our cilantro lime creme fraiche. It doesn't get much easier than this. The recipe is just exactly as a description. It's cilantro, it's lime, and it's creme fraiche. So we have just one lime. We zested it. We also took the juice from that lime as well, and then about a half a cup of creme fraiche. We'll combine all these together. We'll just add just a little salt and a little black pepper. So there's our cilantro lime creme fraiche. We've chosen some avocados here. We like to cut them into kind of wedges, so they're more of a finger food. So get all of our wedges. Peel the skin, of course. And then we'll just throw these right in our batter. Just make sure everything's nice and coated. And you definitely want to use the swim method on this. And when I say the swim method, I just mean you want to give it a head start and kind of roll it in the grease first before dropping it. That way it doesn't stick to the bottom. That way you get a nice even coat. So like I said, just about a minute or two, these will be done. You want to be nice and golden brown when they come out. It's been a couple minutes now. Our avocados look great. Nice, beautiful golden brown. We'll shake those off onto our paper towel here. As soon as they come out, we'll do a little salt. So what we'll do now to plate is we'll actually start with our cilantro and lime creme fraiche. We'll just put a few little dollops down. Then we're going to add our crispy avocado wedges. And then next we'll do the jam that we made. It's nice and thick now, it's been cooled. A little bit of sweet, a little bit of heat, tiny bit of tanginess from the vinegar. We'll plop that right into the cavity where the seed used to live. And then last, we're just going to add a little bit of cilantro. We like to throw a little bit of this micro cilantro on top of the jam here. So this is our signature tempura avocado. Super easy to make. You can make it yourself, or if you like, you can come into American Kitchen and we'd be happy to make it for you.